Hi guys, welcome back to another podcast episode of It Doesn't Have to Be Perfect with your host Janine. That is me, if it wasn't obvious already. So today I wanted to talk about something that's a little more on the touchy side of things. If you are triggered by body image and body talk and dieting, please just click off. It's okay. I'm not going to take it so hard. I know it's hard to listen to certain things in certain times of your life. So I completely understand. But today we're talking about, you guessed it, our bodies, our bodies and body image. And this is something that, of course, I've talked about before. It's not a secret that I've struggled with it. I'm very open with it. And recently, there's been a type of development, I would say. Yeah. And it got me just really excited and it gave me hope. It's going to sound silly once I say it, but just bear with me. So recently I went to Goodwill. Of course, Janine went to Goodwill. What's, surprising in that? But I went with a friend and I decided that I was going to shop for new clothing. And a little bit of backstory, I still have had clothing from years ago, like 5+ years, right? And I'm very good at just getting rid of stuff as I go, as I move and such. But there are some clothing items that I'm holding on to. And why do I hold on to them? Because I'm waiting for the day that it'll fit me again. And I'm waiting for the day that I'm able to fit and squeeze right back into that skirt or that shirt. And I was looking at my closet one day and I was like, I am moving soon. I don't want to carry all of this with me because a lot of it too, it doesn't even fit me anymore. And I can't remember the last time that I wore this. And so I thought, okay, maybe if I do a little shopping spree, I'll feel better about getting rid of these clothing items, right? And that's what I did. And when I was at Goodwill, I went not to the small section, but to the medium section of the shirts. And I actually found a lot of cool stuff. Even this one, I thrifted it from that same shopping experience. And I got 7 shirts for $40. It was amazeballs. I was over the moon and it was a lot of cute stuff. And I got some sweater vests and it was just a combination of a lot of good stuff. And I was trying them on, right? That same night before I was going to wash all of them to see if they all fit before I took off the tags and stuff. And I realized that I looked good in these shirts. It didn't feel uncomfortable. I didn't feel like I was being squeezed in. It didn't feel like I was restrained at all. It was a really nice feeling because guess what? These shirts actually fit my body now. And it was just kind of a moment for me of realization that my body isn't the problem. It's the clothing that I was trying to squeeze into. And it's when people are on their journeys, or at least when I was on my journey to lose weight when I was younger, it was always I was buying stuff that was the goal. I was buying shirts that were small enough that that was my motivation for losing weight and stuff, And but now I'm doing the opposite, and not even the opposite of oh, I want to gain weight or whatever. No, it's just I'm now fitting into clothing that my body is comfortable at, and it's such a game changer. Even putting this fit on today, I felt so good about myself, and I was this is not a small, but air quotes small, but I still feel so good in it. I feel I look good. I have my makeup on. I did my hair. I'm wearing my jeans. I feel good. And it's such a tiny thing. But I know a lot of you will resonate with this if you've had body issues. When that dress fits or that shirt fits and that one thing that looks really good on you and you're I don't care what weight I'm at. I still look good in this, regardless. it was kind of like those moments. But like now I'm like, oh, I can make my entire wardrobe that, like, clothing that makes me feel good. And like, why didn't I think of that before? I don't know. I was just so much like trying to make myself small. Like, it's been a lifelong thing, like, well, not lifelong, like a decade and more of like me trying to be smaller than I actually naturally am. And it's like one of those things that even like I've seen some TikToks of people saying how if you want like a good outfit inspo, look at a celebrity or influencer that looks the closest to you, right? And then because they have similar features as you, instead of looking to someone, say for example, that is white, blonde, tall, whatever, like I'm never gonna like look like them. No matter what I do, I'm not gonna look like them. That's just not in, that's not God's plan, or whatever you call it. So and I was thinking like, okay, someone like Becky G, she's Mexican, she's like 5 feet tall like me, dark hair, you know, tan skin or whatever. But even looking at her, I'm like, yo, like she has a trainer, she trains hard, she probably has a chef, personal chef, she travels a lot, she has a whole different like lifestyle. And again, I don't, or at least not yet, manifestation, you know, but like she has a whole different lifestyle. Like I'm not ever gonna like, I'm not even gonna look like her. I look similar to her because our ethnicities and our body shapes and such, but like she has abs, I don't have abs, and I don't really idolize having abs, and I don't really care to, you know. It's one of those things that like even if you try to mold it in whatever way you want to see it, but like always chasing that better body, that better image of you, like it, yes, like self-improvement is amazing, and moving your body is amazing, and eating foods that nourish you like is amazing. But to constantly be chasing something that is unhealthy to your natural body weight is never going to end good, because you always hit a plateau, and from there it can be really easy to get discouraged and try to do unhealthy things to get over that plateau. And that's not at all what is healthy for you. Like you shouldn't be like constantly like trying to shrink yourself. For what? Literally for what? And like I look at someone, for example, like Jen from The Bachelorette. She is so beautiful. She is so beautiful. She is not like, and I don't want this to come out as like I'm comparing other women and putting other women down. No, it's like more so that she's not like super, super thin, like unhealthy thin, you know, like she is herself, and she looks so gorgeous. Like she is so beautiful. Like I've been watching it, and like I'm like so in awe of her, because she's so like charismatic, and like it's probably just her personality in general too. Like she's just so charismatic, and she's beautiful, but she's also like not like Pinterest thin either, but she's just herself, and she looks healthy, and she has color to her to her face, and she has beautiful healthy hair. Like that's what I am aspiring to be, you know what I mean? Just healthy, just feeling good in my body, and not trying to constantly like shrink down, because you're just gonna wither away like that. And this just brought me to the conclusion that it's not your body that's the problem, it's your clothing items. Our bodies are gonna change. Our bodies are constantly gonna change, and that's something that we can either resist and worry about and stress about, or we can accept it, because it's like a beautiful thing to be able to age. Like say for example, my grandma looks like a grandma. I wouldn't want her to look younger than my mom, you know what I mean? Like I don't want her to look like, you know, no wrinkles, no nothing. Like that'd be weird. Like I don't want her to change, because she's my grandma, and I love her the way she is, and she has lived her life. She's pushing 80, okay? And she has lived her life fully. I don't want her to look any different than my grandma, you know? And I know like the same goes for everyone around me who looks at me and loves me, and they're just like, I love you the way you are. I love you because of your heart and your charisma and your work ethic. And hearing like that, like hearing stuff like that, obviously in the moment you're always kind of like, okay, yeah, but I could be better, I could look better and such. But no, like once you start like seeing that it's not you that's the problem, it's culture and people and society, but like the images that we're fed of what's beautiful and such, like you start to realize that everyone around you is freaking beautiful. And sometimes even I lose sight of that, but then I'm always like brought back and I'm always grounded to the fact that everyone around me is beautiful, aging or not, thin or thick or whatever. Like everyone around me is just so like, they're in my life for a reason, because I love them, because I like cherish their company, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So to conclude, once again, to get it through your thick skull, okay, you're not the problem. Your body's not the problem. It's the clothing that you're wearing. Okay, I said it. Mic drop. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that something resonated with you. Yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.